The Spurs need De'Aaron Fox to slow down to win it all. De'Aaron Fox has been voted the fastest player in the NBA with the ball by league general managers. But the skill that could turn the San Antonio Spurs from finalists into champions may be learning when not to use that speed. New York exposed that contradiction in the 2026 NBA Finals. The Knicks slowed San Antonio in transition, closed the corner passes that had powered the Spurs, and forced Fox to solve possessions after the first advantage disappeared. His production fell to 12.8 points per game on 34.3% shooting. That does not mean Fox cannot lead a championship offense. It means the next step is extremely specific. Turn speed from an instinct into a weapon he controls. That transformation comes down to three questions. Can Fox manipulate tempo instead of attacking at one speed? Can he master the different coverages teams throw at the two-man game with Victor Wembanyama? And when the first option disappears, can he find the second answer without allowing the possession to fall apart? Those questions matter because San Antonio has already proved it can win at an elite level with Fox. The Spurs won 62 games, reached the finals, and gave him the responsibility of organizing a contender. The next challenge is different. Regular season success proved Fox can elevate this offense. The finals tested whether he can control it after an opponent has spent an entire series studying his habits.
Slowing down does not mean becoming passive. San Antonio did not acquire one of basketball's most explosive guards to turn him into a cautious ball mover. Fox averaged 18.6 points, 6.2 assists, 3.8 rebounds, and a team-high 1.2 steals across 72 games last season. He became an all-star and reached the finals in his first full season with the franchise. His speed still creates advantages almost nobody else can manufacture. The problem is what happens after that first advantage. Championship defenses eventually recover. They take away the easy transition lane, load the paint, and force the point guard to create something new. That is where Fox's next level begins.
During the regular season, Fox can receive an outlet pass, cross half court before the defense is organized, and force two defenders to react before San Antonio even calls a set. That creates layups, free throws, trail threes, and early mismatches for Wembanyama. But New York showed what happens when an opponent gets back, protects the paint, and makes the Spurs play against 5 defenders on every possession. Fox could no longer win simply by reaching the dangerous area first. He had to control where the defenders moved after he arrived. Speed had always been the action. Against the Knicks, it needed to become the opening move in a longer sequence.
And every playoff coverage gives Fox a different test. Against drop coverage, does he punish the center with the mid-range pull-up, or make him step forward before slipping the ball to Victor? Against a switch, does Fox immediately attack the slower big, or first check whether Wembanyama has sealed the smaller defender inside? Against a blitz, can he retreat without panicking, widen the trap, and find Victor in the short roll? Fox already has the handle and acceleration to beat all 3 coverages. The challenge is recognition. He has to know which answer the defense is giving him before committing to the first one he sees. Against drop, that patience can turn Fox's pull-up into a weapon for Wembanyama. If the center stays attached to Victor, Fox reaches one of his preferred shots. If the big steps forward, the pocket pass or lob opens behind him. Against a switch, a rescreen can force the slower defender to change direction twice instead of letting him sit on Fox's first drive. And against a blitz, one controlled retreat dribble can create the passing angle that did not exist a second earlier. None of this requires Fox to become a different athlete. The fastest player on the court does not need another gear. Sometimes, the most destructive move available to him is one extra hesitation. The finals gave us a perfect example of why that second decision matters. In Game 1, New York stationed weak-side defenders deep in the paint to tag Wembanyama's role. Fox got downhill and created corner opportunities because a third defender had to choose between protecting the rim and staying home. But the Knicks adjusted after halftime. They closed those passing lanes and held San Antonio to only 9 points over its final 15 possessions. That opened the real playoff question. Once the defense removes Fox's first kickout, what is the counter? Does he change the screen angle, reverse the ball, rescreen, attack from the opposite side? The first read created the advantage. The missing piece was the second one.
Game 3 showed why Fox cannot become so patient that he stops being dangerous. After struggling for most of the night at Madison Square Garden, he waved off Wembanyama, reached his preferred area, and buried the late pull-up that protected San Antonio's only win of the series. Victor later made it clear how much the Spurs trusted Fox in that moment. That shot belongs in the championship formula. San Antonio needs a guard who can rescue a possession when the system breaks. But rescue is supposed to be the final option, not the first. Fox does not need to stop taking difficult shots. He needs to make sure every easier advantage has been explored before he decides the difficult shot is necessary. Then Game 4 gave us the opposite lesson. San Antonio built a 29-point lead through pace, paint attacks, passing, and rhythm. Over the final 21 and a half minutes, that control disappeared. The Spurs scored only 25 points on 40 possessions, shot 6 for 35, and committed 8 turnovers. Then, in the final seconds, Fox recovered a loose ball with an opportunity to pull it out and force New York to foul. Instead, he attacked the rim. OG Anunoby blocked the layup, and the Knicks eventually created the possession that produced the winning putback. The collapse belonged to the entire team. But that moment captured Fox's challenge perfectly.
Championship speed is not moving as fast as possible. It is recognizing the exact moment when stopping is the fastest route to victory. Game 3 proved Fox can take over when the possession needs a scorer. Game 4 proved that instinct still sometimes takes over when the possession needs an organizer. And that closes the first major loop from Game 1. Fox does not need a new move. He needs a second answer after the defense takes away the first one. The transformation is not from fast to slow. It is from reaction to control.
If you believe Fox can make that adjustment and lead the Spurs back to the finals, like the video and subscribe for more San Antonio analysis. And tell me in the comments, when the game is on the line, should Fox remain the primary organizer, or should more of those possessions move toward Castle, Harper, and Wembanyama? That question matters because San Antonio now has enough creation around Fox to challenge him without replacing him. His role no longer exists in a vacuum. Castle has already shown how naturally he can create advantages with Wembanyama, while Harper proved during the postseason that his offense can survive under pressure. That does not make Fox unnecessary. It raises the standard for what San Antonio needs from its veteran guard. The Spurs can spread regular season creation across 3 guards. But when a playoff series reaches the point where every possession is being dissected, Fox will still be judged by how clearly he organizes the offense. He does not need to dominate the ball more than Castle and Harper. He needs the possessions he does control to produce the clearest answer.
That same idea applies defensively. Fox's aggression is useful only when it stays under control. He led San Antonio in steals, but gambling for one can create a much larger problem behind him. If Fox stays attached over a screen and recovers from behind, Wembanyama can remain near the rim instead of stepping into emergency help. If Fox misses on a gamble, Victor has to leave his preferred area. The low defender rotates, and an open 3 can appear somewhere else. Fox does not need to become an all-defensive guard. He simply needs to use his speed as a recovery tool as often as he uses it to chase turnovers.
Spurs fans have seen a version of this evolution before. Tony Parker did not stop being fast when he became a championship point guard beside Tim Duncan. He learned how to probe, reset, and attack again after the first lane disappeared. Denver built another version of that lesson with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. Their 2-man game works because either player can create the next advantage after the defense takes away the first one. Fox and Wembanyama will never look exactly like either partnership. They do not need to. The principle is what matters. A championship guard-big combination is not one player using the other as a screen. It is 2 creators forcing the defense into one bad choice after another. When training camp and preseason begin, there are 3 signals worth watching. First, does Fox use more hesitations, rescreens, and changes of direction instead of committing to the first lane? Second, does Wembanyama receive the ball earlier in the short roll and closer to the basket? Third, after Fox gives up the ball, does he relocate and stay involved, or simply wait for the possession to return to him? None of those things will attract as much attention as a chase-down dunk or a 30-point night, but together, they will tell us whether the Spurs are building an offense designed for the moments when transition disappears in May and June.
Health belongs in that equation too. Fox missed the first 2 games of the Western Conference Finals because of an ankle issue, and San Antonio should use Castle and Harper to reduce the amount of regular season creation he has to carry. That is not preparation to replace him. It is preparation to preserve the version of Fox the Spurs will need late in a playoff run. Fatigue can turn patience into hesitation, and an injured ankle can remove the separation his pull-up game depends on. If San Antonio has 3 capable guards, one of the advantages should be reaching April with its veteran creator still capable of using his greatest physical weapon.
So, does this evolution simply make San Antonio a top 4 team in the West? That is now the wrong standard. The Spurs won 62 games, finished second in the conference, ranked among the league's best teams on both ends, and eliminated Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals. If the core stays healthy, high seeding should already be expected. The real question is what happens when an elite defense has seen the same Fox Wembanyama action for 5 straight games. Can Fox punish drop without becoming predictable? Can he release the ball before a blitz closes? Can he recognize when the mismatch belongs to Victor? Can he protect a lead with the same intelligence he uses to erase one? The evidence gives us 3 different answers. Fox's regular season proved he can elevate San Antonio over 82 games. His late jumper in New York proved he can handle a possession when the moment demands individual shot making. And his decision in Game 4 proved that his instincts still sometimes move faster than the situation requires. That is why the transformation is incomplete, but also why it is realistic. The Spurs are not asking Fox to become taller, stronger, or more explosive. They are asking him to organize the tools he already has with championship-level precision.
If Fox learns to weaponize patience, the Spurs could have much more than an explosive point guard next to Wembanyama. They could have a 2-man system capable of surviving the adjustments that decide playoff series. If he does not, Castle and Harper will continue earning control of the possessions that matter most, and Victor will be asked to solve too much by himself. Fox became a star by reaching places on the court before everyone else. He can become a champion by understanding exactly what to do when he gets there.